President Hall, Board of Trustees, faculty, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates of the class of 2021. As I thought about what I might say today that would be inspirational, memorable, not totally boring or somber, and also run 7 minutes or less, I came up with nothing. Clearly, graduates, you do not need me to tell you that you are resilient, persistent, and tenacious in achieving your goals in spite of the global pandemic, but it is all true. This year has turned our world upside down. We continue to move into uncharted territory, and we lament about our desire to return to normal, to be able to travel, to eat in a restaurant without restrictions, and to hug our loved ones. It is the human touch that we so desperately miss. Touch plays a crucial role in our well-being and is so often taken for granted. Throughout history, the importance of touch has been recognized. Michelangelo said, "To touch can be to give life." The loss of human touch has been said to be far worse than starving for bread. Its benefits begin at birth. Research has shown that skin-to-skin contact between mothers and their newborns stimulates the baby's brain to connect. It is here that emotional and social development begins. But we remain dependent on touch throughout life. Infants deprived of the touch of maternal bonding, including some orphan children, are at particular risk for developmental delays. Touch can affect our decision-making, our opinions, and our overall behavior. While this can occur at a subconscious level, it is fundamental to our ability to develop social relationships. Psychologically, touch can elicit feelings of trust, warmth, and even love. As humans, we are not wired to be isolated, but rather we are social beings who desire to connect with others. The science of touch and its effect on hormones has been repeatedly documented. Our emotional and physical health and the effect of touch is essential for human communication. At the same time, as we try to navigate COVID, the impact of being touch deprived is apparent. Social distancing, masking, and today's digital world have created barriers to that which we need most, the human touch. The advances in technology have been beneficial in so many ways. Clearly, without such technology during COVID, there would have been far less communication. But it's easy to overlook how important touch can be. Einstein, while he supported technological advances, feared that technology would surpass our human interaction. Charles Dickens expressed a similar concern when he stated, "Electrical communication will never be a substitute for the face of someone who with their soul encourages another person." The impact of the pandemic has been especially hard on healthcare providers, those who provide hands-on care to patients. These workers not only risk their own health, but many also had to isolate from their own families for fear of infecting loved ones. Those who developed the technology and therapies to deal with the virus were under intense pressure and scrutiny to move forward with unparalleled speed. I cannot help but marvel at the stories of healthcare workers and scientists who sacrificed to lead the fight. 3 vaccines were developed within 12 months. In the past, that may have taken years. In the 1940s, the world was engulfed in global conflict whose outcome would determine whether people could live freely and enjoy the blessings of liberty. Our country was able to overcome overwhelming evils and achieve victory. The willing sacrifice of blood and material comfort experienced by that generation earned them the greatest generation label. We can draw some similarities to that time as we navigate through the COVID pandemic. Lives have been lost, families and loved ones separated, and the inability to be social put our lives on hold. Many of you are embarking on careers that will constantly require you to provide that healing touch. While Zoom calls and text messages don't replace the warmth of a hug or touch, maintaining your relationships virtually will help you feel connected to your loved ones when you can't be with them in person. If I could leave you with one piece of advice as you move forward, it is to remember that while technology will play a major role in your careers, never underestimate the most important, simplest form of communication, that of the human touch. Look at the current challenge of the pandemic as an opportunity rather than a burden. Maybe you, too, will eventually be considered the next greatest generation.